Hello and welcome back to Cardiff Sports Central. Well, it may be a little late, but we wish you a happy new year from the CUTV and CSC team. Here's what's coming up on the show today.
I do what I want and say what I want with no apologies. Excuse me if I'm gonna say what I want with no apologies. And they won't shut me up, hell no, hell no. No, they won't shut me up, hell no, hell no. I do what I want and say what I want with no apologies.
With me today we have Britta, our ever-present pundit Dan, and new to the team, Hugh. We'll be starting the show today by looking at Cardiff Cobras, the University American football team, who have enjoyed many successes this season, as shown in the league table. So Dan, a very successful season, but unfortunately there's obviously that one result, the loss to Swansea Titans, that does stick out.
Yes, well, they were an excellent start to the season, of course, unbeaten going into the Swansea game, the pre-Christmas grudge match against their great rivals, and unfortunately they came out with no points, losing 14-7. It wasn't played on a 3G pitch though, because the pitch was waterlogged, so it was on grass. It could have worked in their
conditions weren't ideal.
Definitely, yeah. So not good to come up with no points from that one.
Yeah, disappointing. But you know, looking at the win record, I mean, Cardiff Cobras have won 80% of their games. I mean, it's a very, very successful season so far. A standout team that I'm very surprised with actually, the UE Bullets. I mean, many tipped them at the start of the season as a team to look out for, but it hasn't been the case, has it, guys?
Exactly. Now fifth in the table.
I know. So, Hugh, who's impressed you the most out of the team?
Well, I think the quarterback, Richard Gardner, has got to go down for some praise, because I think it was March, April of 2014. He tore his anterior cruciate ligament, like one of the worst injuries a sportsman could ask for. Which should have ruled him out for about 10 months to a year.
Yeah, I had people say a year.
Yeah, exactly, and he's come back in half of that time. And not only that, but I think if you look at the stats, he's had 5 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown so far this year. You know, that's incredible form. You know, to come back from an injury as severe as that, and to play back to some of the standard that he was playing at beforehand.
Commendable effort, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Britta, who's your outstanding player from the team?
For me, I think it's Ayo Okuntunde, the heart of the offence. So he's really, really fast. They just can't really tackle him. He scored a kick-off return touchdown. So yeah, he's a really good player, really strong.
You've got to mention Harry Kirkham though as well in defence.
Yeah, we were talking about him earlier, weren't we?
He got 10 sacks in 5 games. Bear in mind the average in the professional leagues is 2.2 a game. That's phenomenal, really. It's like trying to run through a brick wall. It's
I mean,
terrifying.
he's constantly hassling the quarterbacks, isn't he? I mean,
his nickname's Dirty Harry though. That says it all, really, doesn't it?
Well, if you think normally if you're averaging 20 sacks per season, that's brilliant. Yeah. He's already had half of that, and there's still a lot of games to go.
5-6 games
phenomenal.
Played.
Yeah, I mean, if you put that,
2 or 3 every game.
Yeah, if you put that into context, you think if he wanted a career in American football, then he's got it.
Bear in mind the linebacker as well, Jason Roberts and Robin Ford, the safety. They've been key players this year for Cardiff.
So, guys, looking at the table with regards to the playoffs, I'm actually very surprised that the UE Bullets are so low. I mean, they were supposed to be a very strong side, but the Cobras not tipped at the start of the season with, I mean, a great opportunity.
Oh, definitely. Well, unfancied at the start of the season now, but they've done well in all 4 of their games with narrow wins. But you can't discredit them that. They were narrow wins, but they were well fought, deserved wins.
Yeah, to close them out the way that they did is really, really good testament to them, because they weren't tipped at the start of the season, and to take some of the victories they've had is commendable. But there's the irony that now they're up in the top contention for the top places, the narrow wins, like they only had 7-point win against the Barracudas, only a 3-point win against UE. That combined with the defeat to Swansea has actually cost them in terms of the top 2 places. There's still some games to go, but they've slipped behind a little bit, and their difference, their points difference, is not as good at all as the top 2 sides.
Which makes these remaining 3 fixtures very, very important.
Yeah,
they'll all count in their chase for the playoffs at the end of the season.
I think they should still be able to win the Premier though, if they beat Falmouth. Yeah, these next 3 games, so Falmouth, Gloucester, Bath.
Bath Spa, I believe.
Yeah. But I mean, Bath and Falmouth should be all right to beat. Pretty easy win, but Gloucester Gladiators, that's going to be.
That's the one to look out for.
Yeah, the pivotal game there is week 10, isn't it? When they play away to Gloucester, Cardiff away to Gloucester, and it's Exeter and Swansea play each other, the top two sides on the same day. So that's the really pivotal game. The other two matches are at home, so in theory they should win that, but it's that away match combined with the top two playing against each other. That will be the important one.
Now, moving on to the ladies' netball, who have had a very impressive season so far and currently sit second in the Premier League. Britta, you must be very happy with your prediction that you made at the start of the season.
I am very happy. Yeah, I was right to keep an eye on them. They've had 5 unbeaten games so far, until last week where they played Cardiff Met and did do so well. Unfortunately, they were narrowly beaten, but it was very close. Just missed out.
Now, Dan, with regards to Cardiff Met, obviously Swansea are in the league as well, and you know the rivalry, but sometimes then Cardiff Met are overlooked.
People tend to forget that intercity rivalry between Cardiff and Cardiff Met, of course, you know, in all sports, not just university sports, they tend to look at Cardiff Swansea or a big grudge match. But yeah, like I said, the intercity rivalry is huge between Cardiff and Cardiff Met.
Now, Q, unfortunately the ladies can't win the Premier League, but obviously they'll play with pride, and with the seedings, they have to win the remaining fixtures, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Their next game, I think, is their biggest game of the season. They're away to Bath, who are third in the league. Cardiff won the home game by only about 10 points. But if you're playing away to the third team, I think that's always a hard game. And off the back of a defeat yesterday as well, they have to bounce back.
And the fact that Bath could overtake them in second place if they lose.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's all on the line for them. And as you say, the higher the seeding, the better going into those playoffs.
Sure.
They have got quite a bad away record as well, so they do tend to score less goals.
Okay.
We did the research, and Cardiff Met have scored 100 points more away from home than Cardiff. That's extraordinary, really, and that's one of the big differences between why Cardiff Met are top and Cardiff second. So Cardiff have got to improve that.
Well, Cardiff Met wiped the floor with Cardiff back in November, I think it was 55-36 in the away game. So yes.
Yeah.
Now moving on to the players in the ladies' side, impact players.
Yeah, so Becky Oatley is the one to watch. She's she's a very experienced player, but she's doing a postgrad now, so that experience is really showing, and she's great on the defence. Okay. So, she's the one to watch, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, just picking up on the defence there as well. I think in any sport, I think in the defence you need somebody to marshal.
Yeah.
And/or in the case of netball, if the ball's up in the air, stand up and say that's mine. Yeah. You know, have someone to stamp their authority on the defence and just take the pressure off the whole
Becky
team.
Oatley,
yeah, and she's their player for that.
Sure. Now I've heard reviews of Sally Fisher as well, the fresher.
There is a strength in depth, and there's talent here in a fresher. Is excellent to see someone new coming into the team, adding a bit of vitality to it as well. It's great to see.
And at least another 2 seasons to be played as well.
Definitely, yes.
Moving to a similar sport, the men's basketball team have also enjoyed many successes. Dan, they currently sit top of the league, don't they?
Well, they made an excellent start to the season. They beat the Swansea seconds 48-39, I believe. Very close game. They should have put another 40 points on them at the end there. They tend to struggle away from home this season, but that good away performance really did good for them.
Sure, and the 2-point guards have been very, very impressive players this season, haven't they?
Yes.
Jamal Lewis and Takber.
Yes, excellent players. They've done really, really well. Vital performance this season.
And Charlie Reynolds, let's not forget him, the shooting guard. He's been great on defence this year. So
with the up-and-coming fixtures, obviously sitting top of the league, they've got to win them, otherwise you know, they won't sit.
Yeah, it's so finely poised at the moment, and there's a massive game against Swansea, but they're all going to be massive games from here on in. The Swansea game's obviously got that edge to it. They're their closest challenge. But they've got the momentum. They're at home this time. Okay, they went down to Swansea, they lost there. This time they're home. Yeah. They've got the momentum of winning their last 4 matches. They only lost 1 all season. That was to Swansea. Okay, Swansea have only lost 1 as well. But you would think with the momentum and with the form of their attackers too, which you just mentioned, they should be in with a good chance.
Yeah. And fortunately as well, obviously the 2nd and 3rd place teams, USW and Swansea, are still to play one another.
Yes, definitely, and also Swansea have got to focus on the cup as well. They're still in the cup,
which Cardiff don't.
Yes, absolutely.
Solely have the league to focus on. And Britta, obviously we've talked about playing away, maybe the team aren't as strong. But with varsity obviously in Swansea, do you think this will affect the performance this year?
I don't know, it could do. They should win technically, but yeah, obviously it is away and their away record's not as strong, so I don't know, I think they could do well.
Obviously my confidence is very high when it comes to varsity with every sport, so I'm sure they will win.
We'll have 2 away games left and 3 at home, so hopefully they can get some points in those vital home games.
Sure. Now moving on to the lacrosse team, a team we've previously discussed. Dan, how have they been doing?
Not well, in all honesty. They came from the championship last year, going 10 games unbeaten, a plus 88 goal difference. Real expectations this year. They've won 1 from 9. It's been a really, really terrible season for them. Only beating Portsmouth, the team directly below them, bottom of the league.
But it's a tough league to be in. It's the Premier League, so they've got teams like Oxford, Exeter, really strong teams. So
now, fortunately, though, obviously, Hugh, they can't get relegated, can they?
No, so the pressure's off them in that respect. I think they've only got 1 game left, and it's against Portsmouth anyway.
Who are to be relegated.
Yeah, but I think they've been fortunate that Portsmouth have found themselves in the situation they've been in, because I think they've been unable to field a team at times.
They would have deducted a point for that, wouldn't they?
Yes, I think so. So Cardiff have found themselves fortunate, I think, that another one of their opponents has been in that situation. So going into the summer, I think it's a really, really important summer for them to make sure that they stay up next season too.
Yeah, what's been the key to their survival this season, do you feel?
I can pick out 3 players, Paul Chapman, Jack Ward, Andre Tulloch. They've been really, really key to them. They're members of the old guard from last year, of course, but Andre Tulloch scored the top scorer with 39 goals, I think. It was very, very impressive this year.
Now the problem is obviously with a lot of old boys potentially graduating, how are they going to get on next year?
Well, there's a lot of new players that are doing really well at the moment. Bobby, Bowen and Colton, they're really strong. So yeah, it might be a need for change of the guard. Change of the old guard.
And also as well, like all the players who will be staying will be that year wiser. Sure. They'll have had a year of playing in the Premier League. They'll know what to expect. And we say like most of the old spine, if you like, may go, or maybe not all of them. Maybe one or two of them will stay on. So I
think within the club it can be seen as a sort of progressive stage at the moment, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think they just might need that little boost, that little change.
There is that momentum there. They got to the cup final last year, only losing to Sheffield very narrowly in that final, so they couldn't go on that good run with the momentum there, of course.
Yeah, I mean they're likely to play Bath in the playoffs. Previously, they've had close results with Bath.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're talking as if the season's almost over. Right, they've avoided relegation. That's it. But no, they've still got the playoffs to go. And if you look at their record this year, okay, maybe you wouldn't give them much of a chance, but their season's still going.
Yep.
They still should be working as hard as ever because they've got the incentive of the
still
playoffs
got something
coming up
to play for.
Yes, absolutely.
And anything can happen in the playoffs, of course.
Well, on that bombshell, it's time to end the show. Thanks to the team yet again for their insightful thoughts. Please go over to Twitter and Instagram and give us a follow at Cardiff Union TV. Or please go to the Facebook, which is /Cardiff Union TV. Here at CSC, obviously, we wish you the best of luck in your up and coming fixtures. It's a goodbye from me and a goodbye from the team. Thanks for tuning in.
To a fly outside my grave and will you just be take time to learn me like court-appointed attorneys. Restore the order, we either join or adjourning. Let's join, I'm on performing the journey. In all earnest, I go so burny. Takes another nigga to turn me. Get it straight, I ain't late on stakes. I'm just sternly stating how what I do with grace takes another nigga to turn mean. My returnings like Blockbuster with a tip, and I ain't kind, but I don't hit. So you starting at the end, that's the part where you begin. I skip the bullshit so we can start it where we win. Yeah, spoiler alert, I can hear you all saying, boy you're a jerk. But it's cool though, no we got a rule, yo. Get it in, then rewind and do it all again, huh? From a floating death, to a fire death, to a fire outside my grave and or will you just be polite with your hand? And it really means I'm number one and you're a fan. Well that's cool, 'cause I think you secrets, I can even cop a feel. Victorious, can't match with warriors. I match with, similarly can't mix matchsticks with forests. Only you can prevent what I do. Only do can prevent what's my fuel. I match matchsticks with wicks. Wicker man, take a sip of liquor and spit the lit off warriors and spit flames. Nigga did in the gang, to a fire death, to a fire outside my grave. Oh man, or will you just be polite with your hand? And it really means I'm number one, and you're a fan. Well, that's cool, cause I think you're number one too. Yeah, that's cool, cause I think you're number one too. Yeah, I think you're number one, too. This road rage, without a road cage, takes courage to run on these roadways. I know you like no way, but I'm a phone race. Also every soccer Terry Fox, no leg. Go ahead, don't stop, go ahead. Sitting in your car, just listening to the bars. Then there's traffic all around, and you feel like falling down. And the music that I'm spewing not enough to calm it down. For you know you watch your car with your briefcase walking around, and them dollars from the budget that went to S1 production. And Sebastian on the hook, not being dug by Michael Douglas. Yeah. So don't start that walk through Echo Park when life's a 101 and you caught up in the jam. Just show some love back to your number one fan. From a floating death to a fire death, to a fire outside my grave. And oh man, or will you just be polite with your hand? And it really means I'm number one, and you're a fan. Well, that's cool, cause I think you're number one too. I love you too. Yeah, that's cool, cause I think you're number one too. Yeah, but that's for me. Yeah, I think you're number one too. I think you're number one.